Hey everybody, Miss B here. Welcome back to the Joy of Reading Story Time. I have a book for you today that talks about adventures and finding new ways to solve a problem. That's right, we are reading Little Red and the Very Hungry Lion by Alex T. Smith. Let's jump into this book and see what it is all about. This is Little Red. Today she is going to be gobbled up by a lion. This is the lion. Well, that's what he thinks is going to happen anyway. One hot morning, Aunt Rosie woke up covered in spots. There was only one thing for them: spot medicine. Ring, 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 ring. Oh dear, said Little Red when she heard the news. I'll come right away. So she put some spot medicine in her basket and waved goodbye to her daddy. It was a long way to Aunt Rosie's house. Little Red walked under the giraffes, over the sleepy crocodiles, and past the chattering monkeys. She crept around the termite mounds and under the leaping gazelles. Then she caught a ride on an elephant, wiggled her way around the hippos and warthogs, and waved hello to the meerkats. Then she sat down in the shade of a shady tree. And that's when the lion arrived. The very hungry lion. Oh, hello, purred the lion. Where are you going? To visit my auntie who is covered in spots, said Little Red. In the time it took for his tummy to rumble, the very hungry lion came up with a very naughty plan. My very clever plan, says the lion. 1. Sneak off to Auntie Rosie's house. 2. Hide her in a cabinet. 3. Dress up as Aunt Rosie. 4. Wait for a bit. 5. Jump up and eat Little Red. 6. Eat Aunt Rosie for dessert. Well done. You are a very clever lion. And he rushed off to put his plan into action. The very hungry lion stuffed Auntie Rosie into a cabinet and locked the door. Then he squeezed himself into one of her nightgowns and covered himself all over in spots. Of course, when Little Red arrived, she realized right away it wasn't Auntie Rosie sitting in the bed. She quickly looked around and spotted her auntie peeking through a gap in the cabinet. Then Little Rosie decided that she was going to teach the naughty lion a lesson. Ooh, let's see what happens. Oh, Auntie, cried Little Red, what tangled hair you have. And before the very hungry lion could even lick his lips, Little Red had brushed and combed and twisted and braided until the lion had a lovely new do. This had not been part of the lion's plan. So he opened his mouth wide. Disgusting, shouted Little Red. What gigantic, grimy teeth you have, Auntie. And Little Red made the very hungry lion brush, 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 brush his teeth until they sparkled. Oh, Auntie, sighed Little Red. What an old nightgown you're wearing. And before the very hungry lion knew it, Little Red had found a much prettier dress for him to wear. This had not been part of the lion's plan either. Stop! Yelled the lion. I am a very hungry lion, and my tummy is grumbling. Little Red pointed her finger. Well, trying to eat children and aunties is very naughty. If you were hungry, all you had to do was ask for some food. The very hungry lion let Auntie Rosie out of the cabinet and said sorry ever so politely. Little Red gave Auntie Rosie the spot medicine, which worked immediately. Then the three of them gobbled up a whole basket of donuts together. The lion had 5. Soon it was beginning to get dark, so the lion walked all the way back home with Little Red on his very best behavior. He promised to never, ever, ever try to eat another auntie or any children. But he might be tempted to eat Daddy. No, bad kitty. The end. All right, what did you guys think of Little Red and the Very Hungry Lion? The lion put a plan together, and although his plan did not work out, he got what he really needed, something to eat that wasn't Red or Auntie Rosie. Little Red was very clever. She saw what was happening from the beginning, and she came up with a plan to give the lion a taste of his own medicine. I think that's a great start for us to figure out some creative ways to handle some problems just like they did. That's right, it's activity time. For our Little Red and the Very Hungry Lion activity, you will need your I Fed a Lion worksheet, a pencil, and the specific ingredients needed for your food creation. We are going to express creativity through food presentation and writing inspired by today's story. Start by coming up with a snack you think would be perfect to feed the lion and keep him from eating you. Then use the section below to draw a picture of you and your lion sharing the snack you chose. Give some details about the food or foods you picked and how your lion responded to your snack. For some extra fun, gather the ingredients needed to create and enjoy your snack. Here's what we came up with for our lion snack. We're making smashed burger tacos. We used corn tortillas, ground turkey, cheese, and a tray full of toppings to add based on the lion's taste buds. We're describing our snack as a handful of flavor. This keeps the lion's mouth and hands full until his tummy is full as well. Let's see how the lion responded to our snack. How do you think we did? Let us know what you came up with, and happy snacking. Now it's time to say goodbye. See you later, alligator. Bye-bye, dragonfly. Take care, polar bear. Gotta go, buffalo. Good wishes, little fishes.